So late payments are unique. In order for any creditor to put a late payment on your credit, there are certain guidelines that must be followed.
Okay.
What people don't know is that these guidelines are there to keep them in check. So 15 USC 1666B, right? Timing of payments. It speaks about the only thing a creditor can do to treat a payment as late. If these things aren't done, they cannot, under no circumstances, treat a payment as late, right? So the first thing is they need to send a consumer a notice, right? So this notice must contain information from 15 USC 1637B, right? So once that information is there along with all the parts of 1637B, next is it needs to be sent out, mailed or delivered 21 days before the payment due date. So 21 days or less, not 21 days or more, 21 days or less before the payment due date. They must either receive the mail or mail it out, right? So under these conditions now, if these conditions are met, yes, they can treat a payment as late. However, when you talk about TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So if, let's say Capital One, if Capital One reported a late payment, well, if the law says that they must mail the notice out, and it must be done with 1637B, and it must also be done 21 days or less before the payment due date, it means that the evidence supporting this must have been sent to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian to prove that Bushman was late, right? So now when I call TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian, or I write them, I'm going to ask for this proof because 15 USC 1681 EB, a consumer reporting agency must prepare a consumer report to have maximum possible accuracy. Accuracy means all values correct. So in order for you, TransUnion, to furnish this late payment, Equifax and Experian, it means you must have the supporting documents to substantiate that the information is indeed accurate. Right? 15 USC 1681. The consumer report must be fair and it must be accurate. So now if you request these documents under Rule 1002 in good faith and they can't provide it, it simply means that they did not get the evidence. So they cannot support the late payment listed because they don't have the tracking number, right?
Right.
To prove that it was mailed or delivered to the consumer. They don't have the disclosures to show what was delivered, and they must also prove that it was received 21 days or less before the payment due date.
Powerful.
So if you can't prove these things, how can you furnish the late payment?
You can't. That's crazy.
So now if they can prove it, they must remove it.
Right.